Okie dokie, got it all unmasked partially. I left some of the green tape on here, as you can see. I'm going to keep that on there for a halo effect as I continue airbrushing. And I already peeled off the spray gunner, so you see the silver coming through, and you can see all of that speckling stuff. It has that extra cool look to it, like it's aged industrial look, and that's exactly what Artem wanted. The color is almost perfect down to Artem's candy color right there, and looks good on this piece as well, that little piece there and that. Now, if you start wondering what this is, I decided I really like that halo effect and I like that contrast, and if I do everything freehand but only have just the spray gunner masked, it'll have a kind of a weird look to it. It's like making a clean spot on a car. You have to clean the whole dang car. So what I'm doing is I'm actually taking that whole masking technique, and it's called this sequential masking, where I lay out a set of tape that I will unmask sequentially, and I'm not doing a whole lot of sequences here. I'm only doing really one. But I did a border here I'm going to keep, so I'm going to do all free-handed in here, and then I'll unmask these borders. And then you see the way I have this one, I'm keeping those there, so it'll have 1/8 of an inch of clean silver border. I went and did this already with this blue tape. Now, I initially laid out this in green 1/8 inch because it turned a corner cleaner. Then I came in and did the blue on the outside. Now, I'm going to do all this freehand airbrushing in here, and then remove all this tape. It'll give it another sense of depth, and it'll give it that masked look throughout every single piece. And you can see how these pieces match up. Like this one goes here, like this. See? So I continued that line up into the next piece. Same thing with the front. You always have to think, you know, either if in this situation it's very simple, the only part that ever touches this is these. On a full motorcycle, sometimes I will set things up on the bike to lay out in a certain way and then pull them off, and we go, every time we do a graphic, we'll pull it off, put it back on. Some people set up jigs to hold things in the right position. I love bikes that aren't that close together. Like Harley, you have a fender and a tank, you can do it on your own. But some of these cafe bikes with things with a lot of plastics on them, you've got to have them jigged up, or at least know where they are to lay the graphics out correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this design. Remember, I used this 1/8 of an inch to lay the design out first. And, I'll put this right here so you guys see it a little bit better. And I'm going to come in. I want to mimic this, not exactly. I'm going to make it a little bit asymmetrical. I'm going to make this probably a little bit shorter. So I just want to keep it fairly consistent with what I did on the other side. And then I'm going to come along here. And I'll probably kill this though early. I'll kill it right here. Whereas that one went all the way up to the end. I'm going to kill this one right here. Radius it. And the 1/8 of an inch turns the radius much better than that blue tape does. All this is FBS. It's FBS green vinyl. A little bit more sticky. The blue tape, which is this, they make it all through an 1/8 inch. It's a little bit less sticky. And then there's La Rouge, which is the red version of the vinyl, and it's even less stickier. So that's how those go. And then I will come in with that blue right here. And I come right up to the green. And the green will turn that corner on the inside cleaner, but the blue will turn the outside edge clean, but not the inside edge. See how that's all bunched up and gross looking? Well, luckily that's not what the paint's going to be touching. That the green is. Well, that's a way I would use both tapes to turn a tight inside radius and keep a clean outside radius. Then I will just come along and start right here and go along the edge. Now, I'm not worried about the outside edge. If I don't get it exactly right, it's not that big of a deal. A little bit of paint on there. The surrounding edge on this is bordered by black. Now, I come to this point here where I have a notch. I will continue all the way on and go to the other side. And this one, I'm not worried about it goes off the edge because it comes back in again on that piece. So I'll snap it and wrap it around the back. Not worried about it. Get it out of the way. This one though, I couldn't follow that edge because it wouldn't turn that tight a radius. I do another piece of blue and turn the outside radius there, and then turn the outside radius again, snap it, pull it around, and then that's nice and clean right there. I can't forget this area back here. I'm mimicking both sides the way I did. I'm creating a border because I want all this artwork will be bordered by the lighter colored silver, which I'll still probably hit it with a little stippling to create texture. I don't want it to look completely separate. I just want it to be lighter. And again, it goes all the way off the edge because it goes into this piece right here. See? Okie doke, got all of this nice and masked off, and we got a lot of heat going on here, so I had some of the tape popping off. And that's one thing you need to get used to is, in this case I'm using some blue tape. If the heat was even worse, I would actually start using some of the green, which is a little bit more stickier. The less adhesive the tape is, the more you want to use that in a little bit of the colder weather, or the cooler weather. I've got my, my candy black mixed with the jet black opaque, as well as a little bit of 4011, and that's what I'm going to be using to do my airbrush. And I'm going to come in and make sure this is still spraying good. I'm going to come in and do a really light little fade on this inside of this area. It's still spraying good. In this case, I'm going to actually come in and do a curved line. Another curved line. Just do some curved lines, and this is going to create like the illusion of a it's an indentation that's like corrugated. This is just freehand. I didn't sketch this out or anything. Just want to. I'm just kind of freehanding this. But then I'll come in and create an opening, like an indentation, a hole. And the nice thing about the candy black is the more you layer it, the darker it gets. So you come in real light, it has a soft gray look to it. You come in more and more. It'll start giving more of a look of being solid black in there. And by shading that, it gives the illusion of it going kind of inside. I will then come along and kind of help that illusion by then shading this side to make it look like this is a little bit of a raised area. I just kind of make stuff up as I go along. This one I'm going to make this look like a little raised circular area. If you see me spraying over my shoulder, just a little bit tip dry. It's like in the 90s in here. So the airbrush is spraying great, but I'm getting paint on the outside of the tip. And that's just the way it is. I could probably add some more 4011 reducer. It's an interesting aspect. With water-based paint, the hotter it gets, if you add more reducer, guess what it starts doing? It starts drying freaking faster. So it's like a catch-22. I'm loving the way it sprays. I just got to keep that tip clean. I'm going to make some little circles along here. You never know how to get real detailed, like a little weird little cluster of things. This will have a little cluster of like the conduits. Remember, like I did on that previous thing with the orange? I just add that stuff in there. And I like doing this where it's clusters of circles. It's like not liquid, but something not bubbling, but something just kind of corroded almost. Now, a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense when I'm painting it, and I'll just kind of come in real light in some areas, and maybe I'll work on it later. I want to build up some designs. I can't come in on this and create any highlights. I mean, I could, but it won't look right with the silver. It's much better to come in and just build up lightly, and then if you need to darken something, you can. So some of these areas I might completely change my mind on and just over darken, but I'm just creating an undulating surface area, trying to create depth where there is no depth. Okay, using my favorite Gerald Mendez texture stencil, the OG, the original one. Just putting a little texture here and there, just randomly. Add some nice patina look to it. You can tell I've unmasked some of these areas. Oh, I got a friendly fly in here in the booth with me. Just wanted to have an overall look to it. You don't really, with Biomechanical, you rarely, unless you got a center point going on, the only thing that really attracts your attention here would be the name, spray gunner. So everything else is just kind of, your eye just kind of flows over. It has a, when we say biomechanical, you want it to be not all mechanical and not all completely organic. You want it to kind of get lost in the translation. And yeah. So I'm really just kind of just keeping up, doing the exact same thing I did in the last one, adding these drop shadows, but doing a little bit what I call a halo effect all the way around these, so when I unmask them, they'll pop. Otherwise, you don't paint around it, when you unmask it, you're not going to see any contrast. This is all about contrast. Okay, got a lot of airbrushing caught up, so just it's very dissimilar but similar. In other words, same general tone, some general value. And I'm going to start pulling the tape off, and I wanted you didn't see me do the last one, so I'll kind of pull the tape on this so you can at least see how it looks before we even stippled it or used any of the texture stencils. And now I'm just kind of finishing up a couple of things to match. Even though they're both asymmetrical, I want both sides to have a few similarities. I did 3 little rivet heads on the inside of this curved area, so I'm going to do those real quick to match the other side. And it just adds some additional value to the area. I mean value, I don't mean money, I meant darkens it up, build it value that way. Value scale. I mean, this is just not even, look at that, that's not precision airbrushing right there, it's just that it gives an overall texture or look. You're kind of darkening up the areas. And I want them both to match. So this way, after with all that squiggling and little airbrushing lines here and there and stippling and texturing, we've got 2 panels that are both very similar, yet also asymmetrical at the same time. That'll kind of work. I'm real happy with those, and now I just got the last 2 pieces to do up to match. Okay, as you see, I just got finished sketching out our little Vinny character back here. I did it with like a grease pencil. I prefer to use, there's Stabilos, there's other companies out there. This is a Stabilo one right here. Just little, it's designed for paper, glass, whatever. This one is, I like it, see it says Aqua Reliable. This is water-based. You want to go with a water-based grease pencil because you can wash it off. It won't have any reactions. I am using nothing but monochromatic black here, so I went with the black Stabilo. I also got the back piece done. I don't know if you saw that. I just did it to match these. Remember, I build them along and want to make sure they all match. So I got that going there. And while I am going to airbrush all over this piece, I'm also going to use just a brush to do the actual line work because I want it to really pop. And it'll also bring some extra line work in to match the clean edges of the tape on the other pieces. So basically just mixed up some, it's just pure opaque black. And with a little bit of candy black added to it, not very much, just for coloring. And matter of fact, I'll add a little bit more just to show you. Give it a good shake. A little bit of it in there. Give it a stir. I do not have any 4011 in this. Now there's a reason for that. And I'll tell you what, we got a cup of 4011 right there. I've been testing some of the brushes to figure out which brush I like. I'm going to go with the weird Harry Potter brush, evidently. And I'm just going to go in and just do some sketchy line work on that. When it's dry, I'm going to come up and kind of airbrush around it, stipple over it, so it'll tie in nicely on that. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. And use a little piece of tape there just as my palette. And I always work on an area that doesn't matter. So let's mess around with the smoke right here. Let's kind of do a sketchy line around the smoke. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, if you see some of the smoke or some of the grease pencil coming through, don't worry about it. You can come back in and wipe it off. Now, don't wipe it off with water because this paint is water-based as well. So what you do is just wipe it off with a dry towel. It'll pull the grease pencil off. Water will actually kind of work the grease pencil in even more, so you don't want to do that. Okay, you see I've already kind of wiped off most of my grease pencil, and now I'm just coming in and putting a little bit of shadow behind it. Not doing a lot, just a little bit of a contrast. So this will pop up naturally. And I'm going to come in and stipple around it and so to tie it all in with everything, but don't want it to be, I want it to really stand out. I want it to be part of the artwork. Now I want at least a little bit of a halo around everything. So this arm over here even gets a little bit of a halo. Now I could have masked this off, cut it and do it. It's a lot of work and I don't want to do any actual cutting on this silver if I can avoid it. Okay, well, I pretty much finished all my artwork on here, and the only thing left is for you to clear it tomorrow.
I'm excited to clear it and put it all together.
Exactly, and you can run it around and not let anyone ever borrow it again.
Never.
And I say we got your spray gunner logo on the side that you cut out for me. We've got the orange that you had to have in there, your color company, and then for your request, you got a little Vinny going on there on the back. So I assume you're happy?
It's much better than putting his skull in here, and I'm really happy I got the signature here.
Yep, a little signature on the side.
Fancy signature.
And I had a good time painting with it. I'll be using all Createx products, but I also got a chance to play with Artem's PS771 airbrush. Excellent brush, and everything done on this was done with that. And that's about it. So cool. I'm not going to be here when you put it together and clear coat it, but send me some pictures. I'll look forward to seeing that. I'm sure Kenny will get a video of you riding around.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Kenny will get a video of you riding around in there. So
I'll be riding around. Just one thing I want you guys working on some vehicles or some shapes and 3D shapes. Always think of the shape of it first, and then what kind of image you're going to put it. Because I like how he put all this darkness in here because this black handle will be in this place. So it's really think through design how it's going to fit his actual vehicle. And I think when I put it back together, it'll be amazing. So really excited to see it.
Yeah, so am I. So, well, cool. Thank you for the opportunity, and you guys are going to be watching the wrap up of this video, and I'm going to be out of here. So I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I'll
Thanks
keep
a lot,
working here, man. I appreciate you doing this, man.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Martin with the spray gun, and I'm here at Createx beautiful booth with Chris. Hey, no, hold him away from me. He's real aggressive here. Chris Arpin. He's normally spraying all this stuff and borrowing his guns, playing with his toys, so keep him away. We're gonna clear all the artwork we did for, not we, Craig Fraser did for us on my bike, the electric unicycle, and also my daughter's panel. So we're gonna do the coat of American Icon. That's the clear coat I use. I have the Z gun, black cap for clear coats, and well, let's do it. Right, so Chris kicked me out, as you couldn't tell, and I just wanted to have his opinion because I know he played with the gun, but kind of refreshing mine. So we have the American Icon clear. He just applied with the Z gun, which does our clear cap and the black cap. Yep. Yeah, so it's important changes. You can still use orange, but it's not going to be as good for a clear as this one. So. Tell us what you think, how you do it.
Well, like I said, I didn't let him have all the fun. I really do like this gun, and we had a chance right when you guys first came out with the base coat version. I sprayed a lot of paint through that gun and really put it through his paces. Actually, when we were doing our spray outs for our new color chart, a lot of that was done, and there was paint everywhere. So that gun really got used, and I was very impressed with the pattern. With the pressure that it atomizes at, the range of it doesn't have a really high CFM air consumption either, which is something a lot of guys look for. You don't need a massive air compressor to power that, so that helps. And just again, the quality of the gun, how it feels, the balance. I've used spray guns in the past that just it sounds crazy, but like ergonomically, if it doesn't feel balanced, if it feels front heavy or really. And it has a great feel. It's compact. It feels great in your hand. It's very lightweight, which is another thing that's important. It's a fantastic gun. And with this air cap, like Artem said, this is better suited if you're spraying candies and clear coat for sure because of that nice tight fan, a very small droplet size, which is exactly what you want when you're atomizing products like that, where you want to just have a mist and not a big heavy droplet. So this is a great gun at a great value point in terms of price. There's parts available. If you see, maybe you guys have seen other videos that I've done where I've reviewed other guns and components. We always get questions even on our aspect from replacement parts. It's easy to spend a couple $100 and get a gun, and then God forbid something happens to an air cap, or you bend a needle, or the tip. You drop the tip and the tip gets bent, and you can't replace it. So these guys have a full stock of parts in their warehouse. They're ready to go, and a bunch of different tip sizes. This is a 1.3.
We'll take care of you guys in the part. Yeah, this is I think it's 1.4.
It's a 1.4.
I believe it's for,
Yeah.
So we have the 1.3 for base, 1.4 for clear, and we have the 1.5 for those who love faster, I would say, or thicker.
Yeah, bigger.
and we have 1.8, which we can, provide as the primer gun. Yeah.
So or even just big areas of spraying.
Yeah.
And that was actually probably do really well with our Scenics line as well, a bigger tip size if you're doing murals, big outdoor projects or something like that. So again, guys, great gun. I've tested it. I like how it sprays. It's a fantastic gun. So check them out at Spray
I
Gunner.
appreciate feedback. Yeah, it's in Spray Gunner. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Chris.
We'll see you guys next time.
It was a pleasure borrowing your booth and
It's my
some
pleasure.
toys. Yeah, thank you.
All right,
well-
John and Johnny, excuse me. Yeah, sex sells.
Welcome. Yeah,
Hello.
Alyssa, can you step in or out and be here just for a minute?
Close the door, honey.
All right. Well, we have a we had it back in one piece. Hopefully, no screws left. So
Right,
I
no
didn't
bonus parts.
I didn't
Yeah.
disassemble it. So it's it's a bonus.
It's a win.
But I mean, it's phenomenal. I love it. It looks great. Do a little turnaround on this thing. I'm gonna do a close up there. Yeah, it looks great. I think the design suits it really well,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm happy. Cannot wait to take it out. And especially, it was 31 miles per hour factory max speed. I'm pretty sure this painting should be at least 33, 34.
Oh, for sure.
But you want to take it out for a ride? Do you?
I'm not going to
you
take
can't.
it. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah.
Just making sure. Remember, you can't.
Yeah, no, we're gonna
Got
leave
it? Now we can go outside and just do a final shot. And well, I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come in here, and get phenomenal art from Craig Fraser. And Fraser's not here anymore, so I cannot give him a hug. But thanks, Craig. I love it.
Thanks for checking us out, guys. We will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep. It's my way of transportation. Couldn't take my bike with me, so works great, looks great. And the clear coat actually, very phenomenal. So cheers to Chris. Well, I did most of it because I mixed the clear, but yeah, he helped applying. So thanks, guys.
Big thank you to Artem and the Spray Gunner team for coming up and checking us out and spending some time at our facility. And we look forward to having them come and visit again. So look for them. They're actually out on the road.
Yeah.
You might be seeing them in your neck of the
across.
woods. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Shit.